With over 200,000 members, the Federation of Small Business is the largest business organisation in the UK. But as they gathered for their annual conference in Aberdeen, there was a sense of frustration about where government help had been going.
The sooner that we can get this addressed and sorted out, the better. What we have argued consistently is that if we want proper competition in the Scottish small business banking market, then we urgently need a new player, because having 75% of the market in the hands of two big players is not good for competition and not good for choice.
This morning they had three politicians in front of them. First Minister Alex Salmond stressed that the economy needed continued stimulus now.
Every other developed economy across the Western world has an economic stimulus plan for next year, because people realise you've got to get the economy motoring to get in the tax revenue to take us out of recession. And every 1% new growth for the economy will bring in £20 billion of tax revenue. And therefore we think the debate for next week's budget should be about a stimulus package, not about the timing of a cuts package.
The Tories had announcements of their own to make, designed to help small business start-ups.
If you create a new business in the first 2 years of a Conservative government, then you will not have to pay tax, national insurance on the first 10 people you employ for a year. In other words, a real boost to starting a business. And the reason why it's so important is when you start a business, it often takes a while before you're making a profit, but you have to start paying the national insurance right away. So this is a particularly difficult tax for new businesses, and that's why if we want to create the jobs in Scotland that everyone wants to see, and we want to create the businesses that are going to create those jobs, we have to help them.
Lord Mandelson chose the occasion to make an announcement about a £2 billion investment in the North Sea.
It's great news. It's another major investment first for the UK, another vote of confidence in the UK from such an important international company like Total. So I'm just delighted to be able to announce the government's go-ahead for this.
All of his references to investment were to do with large companies, so how committed was he to the small business sector?
We're thinking about the spin-outs, the supply chain, business opportunities for tens of thousands of small and medium-sized enterprises, and it's sustaining those supply chains which are so important, because they're what's going to drive our economic recovery in this country and our future growth. And that's why for us as a government, helping small business, backing small business, trying to do everything we can to lift the regulatory burden from them and to get prompt payment for them is such a priority for us.
So what did the Federation make of their three guests?
There's an awful lot for us to go away and think about, an awful lot for us to go away and ponder, and we are heartened by the fact that the points that we have been raising with government at all levels are being taken seriously.
In some respects, the timing of this conference couldn't have been better for the Federation. There's a budget next week and an election not far off. In these circumstances, politicians are much more willing to listen than to tell. For the Caledonian Mercury, this is David Calder at the SSB conference in Aberdeen.